Right. So welcome everyone. Welcome. I'm Linda Fabry. I'm an intuitive artist and an expressive arts facilitator. I use art as my modality to connect to my creative spirit, to my source, whatever you want to call it. And that's where everybody else's is. And so that's, I'm able to kind of channel higher self messages through art. And so I make art and then I interpret that into words for a message. I make oracle cards and do all kinds of fun stuff with that, which I'll share with you. My background is in art therapy, and I've been an artist professionally since 2001, off and on. And I have a bachelor's degree, so I'm not a therapist, and this is not therapy. That's usually what I say for art support groups, right? Don't worry about that. So I do these two events each week. On Wednesdays, I do this live reading event, and then on Thursdays, I do an art support group, which is an intimate group where we make art for self-awareness. Today, I'm going to do some mini readings. So I do what I call paint gazing sessions, and I'm going to switch here so everybody can see my hands. And you can see these little cards. So I typically, for a paint gazing session, will do a 9 by 12, a full-size painting, and the participant gets to choose the colors. I put them down on the paper, and then I just paint what I see in it, and we talk about it, and they get some insights into their topics or questions. So, oh, I forgot to do my own little. I forgot to okay my own recording thing after I told everybody else to look for it. So today I'm gonna just do little mini readings. We're gonna have some people pick numbers. So the numbers go from 1 to 40. So instead of saying I want orange, yellow, red, whatever, you're gonna choose 3 numbers, and those numbers correspond with color. So it's very intuitive with that also. And then you tell me your favorite color. So we'll incorporate your favorite color, whatever favorite you have today. And these will take about, I try to stick to like 5-10 minutes per person. I'm going to do the best I can. I get chatty, and I want people to get what they need out of it. So I obviously won't get to everyone, but I will get to as many people as I possibly can. And I'm going to give you all, though, these shapes. So if you take a piece of paper, if you have one, or just keep this in mind, and you number 1 through 5, and then you take these shapes here, and you're going to just put them in the order that you like the best. So this is supposed to be a spiral. So like whichever one your favorite is. So if your triangle is the favorite or something, you put that in 1. And then your least favorite, which one do you like the least? You put that in 5. And then fill in the other ones, which ones you prefer. This is, I'm going to be talking about these when I do the reading, so it'll give you some insight. So these shapes tend to show up in artwork. This is based off the work of Angelise Arian. This is her book. She's a cultural anthropologist. I really love all of her books and her work. It's pretty amazing. So those are the shapes. So we'll talk about those. Often they'll come up in reading, so it's nice to know.
Triangle.
Right?
Plus circle square.
And I'm just going to mute everybody because I'm easily distracted. Okay, so there you go. Did everybody get it? You can put in the chat if you need those again. I'm sure you can all help each other out in that, right? Okay, so now if you would like a reading tonight, go ahead and do the hand raise thing. And I will just go down the list of people. And when I call your name, oh, I'm so glad that you all want to have readings. Yay, I hope I can get to all of you. So what I'll do is I'm going to do this little one. And then I also have oracle cards that I pull with after I do the painting. So at the end, I'll try to leave a little time, and I will try to pull cards for each person who's still here at the end. So 1 through 5, and then the shapes. So you number 1 through 5. And then you take these 5 shapes and you pick the one you like the best, and you put that in the spot next to number 1. So if I like the spiral the best, I put that number 1. And then the next one that you like the best out of those. And then the one you like the least goes in number 5. So you put them in order of the ones that you like the best. That's all. And then so I'll talk about them throughout the night. So I also want to say too, like, as I'm doing readings for people, whether you're getting a reading or not, it always seems like, and this is for me when I'm watching people get readings or listening in, And even doing them, a lot of times I find myself saying things that I needed to hear. So you probably will get some information that is relevant to your own path too. So yeah, so that's that. We're gonna get going. And feel free to ask questions throughout. And if just making sure everybody can see and hear and everything, otherwise let me know. All right, so Laura, you're up first. So if you'd like to unmute and say hi.
Hello.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm excited. This is my first time.
I'm so excited you're here. Thank you for being here. And I love the wall color behind you. My gosh, that's beautiful.
Thank you. My kitchen.
I want, I wanted to say to Deborah, thank you for noticing my large canvas behind you. I'm trying to work on it more. So I'm such an environment person. I love the colors. So what kind of question do you have, Laura, that's on your mind that you'd like some insights into?
Um, how best to move forward? There's
Mhm.
so much going on, and I'm struggling to get all my ducks in a row. I'm not sure where the ducks are. I think they've left the building. So direction, I think,
Gotcha.
clarity and direction in life, in what I want to bring to the world. What I guess career focus. So yeah, how
All right, we can do
yeah,
that. What three numbers between 1 and 40 do you pick?
23,
Okay.
36, and 17.
And do you have a favorite color or something like of color you're feeling today?
Teal.
Mhm. Okay. Do you consider this teal?
Yeah.
Awesome. It's like the color behind you.
Yes.
Perfect. So here are your colors. Yeah, that's a nice
Fantastic.
combination. All right, so you said 23 first. I'm gonna put that one down. So I'm just gonna basically just put these down. And when I'm reading the paint, I have like like a level 1 training in healing touch. It's not a lot of training in it, but I have a basic understanding and feel for energy, subtle energy. So the paint to me feels very much like the energy body or like the subtle energy body. And that's how I kind of interpret it too. And so I'm just noticing how the paint's coming out, the way that it's moving. It's very central. And so yeah, it's an interesting. Except for this one. This one just wants to dance. So there's this kind of oh, I want to like straighten my spine and stand up tall. What am I looking for? My plastic. There it is. There's that energy of kind of like I almost want to call it stoic, like um I'm just gonna be strong no matter what kind of thing coming through. But then there's also this that teal that just wants to dance and spread out. Oh yeah, the energy just wants to go. It's ready to go. The ducks are ready to go. They're all. When you said get your ducks in a row, what I really heard was herding cats.
Totally.
I love that phrase. Isn't it hilarious? All right, look at this. Gorgeous colors. I'm feeling a little. Are you very creative?
I like to write. I'm a
Ah,
bit blocked with my art side. A lot of years of saying I can't do it, but I'm enjoying coloring in,
oh,
and I
gotcha.
think it might, yeah, explore the artistic side more. Be
Yeah,
creative with words.
it's an interesting kind of balance between like this linear energy and this very, or like I almost want to call it masculine and feminine, but just because I don't really know how else to say it, like there's this kind of swirly energy, and then there's this linear, like straight line kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at this. It's kind of reminds me of like the aurora borealis and then there's something. Oh, is that right there? it's just shifting all over the place. So I'm gonna let it settle down. And I think that's the energy you're talking about is like things are moving all about. And I keep
Mhm.
looking for something and I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm
Makes a
like,
lot of
why am
sense.
I looking around? I'm like, all my stuff is right here. That's very interesting. All right, so I'm just gonna, there's two things going on. There's a couple things going on. And so I'm gonna point them out. I'm gonna acknowledge them. So I'm not sure what to call this creature right here, but I want to say it's like a turtle duck, turtle duck. So there's the
Mhm.
head right here and the shell right here. Can you see it?
Yep.
Like the neck and head. This is the turtle, and this is or this is the duck kind of head, and this is the shell. But just as I was going to go in and like, okay, yeah, that's it. I also saw this profile which really wants to come through. So I'm gonna go through. So we found at least one duck. Um, but there's definitely like a profile right here that's going to come through too. And so I went right for this dark shadow. So I feel like that's partly like shadow work. Oh, it's kind of like laughing or something.
Mhm.
I'm defining some boundaries. I feel like
Yep.
um, uh, they feel very peaceful. Like when I see eyes closed, that tells me like it's safe. You know, we usually only close our eyes when we feel safe to do so, right? So there's that. And then there's this wonderful like hat here, a little floppy hat. And again, so there's like this shadow that's you ever heard of Debbie Ford? She wrote a book called The Dark Side of the Light Chasers. It's
No, I
about
haven't come
shadow.
across them. Yep.
So I feel like that's coming up. Like I want to tell you to maybe visit that book or some writing from her that she had done. It's old. I'm old. That's what it's from. Um, but I feel like there's this like light being here, right? Like I'm just seeing this as like so much light, but then there's like defining your boundaries through your shadow work. Like, don't be afraid to look at that dark just going on there. But that's how you help things to kind of show up and there's a lot of water going on, so I feel like there's a lot of emotional components. And then these little circles are showing up. So expressing some emotion. Your emotions are like your guide, is what I'm hearing. And through your writing too. I think, yeah, there's a lot like I almost want to, so I just heard, so you have like loved ones and non-physical, I think, because they're saying like you live in your head. So get it out, get it out into the yeah. So we're just gonna keep defining those lines. Look at the beautiful lines that are coming through. And then look at this, looks like, did you said you write?
Mhm. Yep.
This freaking make me draw hands. This is kind of a hand. Yeah, there it is. It's like it's a thumb. But you know what? When hands come up, that what I think of is you've got um it's like a can do kind of thing.
Yep. Powers in
You
your
got
hand,
your-
like in
what's
Willow.
that?
In the movie Willow, the little guy who wants to be magical gets asked whose finger holds the power, and he wants to point to which one of the magician's fingers it is, but it's really his own.
Oh, oh, that gave me goosebumps. I forgot about that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a little snail. So it's like it's drawing a little snail. Cute little thing.
Mhm.
And then okay, try to talk while I'm doing this. There's definitely like this light energy that reminds me of the aurora. So that I feel like, do you connect to the non-physical realm somehow? Do you have like some sort of mediumship or some sort of, have you ever explored that?
A very little bit. I use tarot card. Well, I used to. I don't very regularly, but I am very conscious of the ethereal realms. But I don't usually channel that in any way.
Okay, because there's just like this, I feel like it's like coming down, like coming through, coming down, like almost like it's a hat you could wear. That's kind of what the picture looks like. Like, oh,
Yeah,
it's a hat. That's one of the hats you could wear. And then where is your spiral in the first or second position?
it
Did you
sure
write?
is. Number one.
Yeah, so you identify as a creative being, but also in the form of learning, and I think that that just lights you up is learning things.
Mm.
Um, and this little snail is just saying like, take your time, you have everything you need within you already. Um, I'm just gonna grab a little bit of white here. Look how peaceful this person is. They're just really content.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna just finish up with a couple of little speckles here and then kind of go into a detail. Oh, all right. I was like, no, you're not done yet. Need some stars. So there's kind of this galaxy kind of feel too. Um, Ethereal being. You celestial ethereal being, you. That's what I just heard. That's sweet. There's a lot of love coming from that non, I mean, there always is, right? Like for everybody, but there's like some very personal energies coming through that are really excited for you. That's what I'm just feeling this like we just met, you know what I mean? But I'm just like, I'm so like I have goosebumps and I'm so excited for you, Laura. Like there's so many cool things that you could do and so many different hats you can wear, and it's you're so infinite, and that's the feeling that I'm having. And it's
Thank you.
partly from me, but it's definitely from some of your whatever surrounding you. It's really wonderful. So I'm gonna hold this up so you can see a little closer. The mouth is interesting. It's almost like they're kind of like biting their tongue or like
Yeah.
kind of holding their, like they're kind of making this little thing. And so it's like, I don't want to say like hold your tongue, like don't speak, but it's almost like
Sort of like laughter about to bubble over, or like, trying to recognize that there is sometimes serious work, but it's never really serious. It's like, don't sweat the small stuff. That's
mm-hmm.
sort of, yeah, it's serious. It's serious.
Right. Well, that's it then. That little snail's like, whatever. I have everything here packed in my little shell. And then like the hand of the creator, which is you like creating this little snail. And I feel
That's
like, yeah,
wonderful.
like kind of, yeah, you're just all part of it. So when I look at these two, I like to look at the left and the right. This side, they're quite balanced. I feel like you're kind of one of those people who what you see is what you get, and you're you don't hold a whole lot. I mean, I think you probably carry more for others than you need to, but I just in general like you're probably one of those people that are just like, oh yeah, I I know who you are. Like you're not, you don't wear like a mask or something like that. Um because it's all right in the center. Are you like both introverted and extroverted? Is that kind of a thing for you?
Yeah, that would make sense.
That's
That
what I'm
it's
feeling. That's the best way to
cyclical.
describe that balance. So as far as your question, like clarity, and by getting your ducks in a row, I definitely feel like there's a message of have patience, that you have like
Mm.
unlimited potential, and that, yeah, maybe like I feel like if there's any kind of like holding of the mouth, it's like not asking, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Like, let me pull a card around this too to get a little bit more information. This one just popped. Just hold on. Yeah. just hold on. Rest your weary mind. So if there's just so much activity trying to figure things out, you can see this character up here. They're just kind of resting on that horse, letting it carry it out of the darkness into this field. Um, Allow your heart to carry you home. You're closer than you think. And I feel like that's what it is. Just, taking some time to like close your eyes and let things fill in, take your time, you know. I think seeing yourself as the person that you are, I think is really the key. I like that this little key is kind of standing out here. Um,
Yeah.
Feeling into your heart and trusting that, yeah, you can put on whatever hat you want. And this one looks like a real fun one, connecting with some of your non-physical counterparts and things like that. I see almost a castle in here too, which is kind of like these ideal, like castle in the sky, like let yourself dream, you know?
Yeah,
Makes sense?
very much so.
Awesome. It was so nice to connect with you, Laura. So
Thank
I'll
you
put this
very much.
aside. I forgot to mention just for everybody, if you get a reading and you like the card, I will put them on my Ko-fi. They're like $11. Nobody's obligated to purchase anything. If you don't purchase it, I just put it on eBay. It's not a big deal. But if you want it, I'll send out an email afterwards so people can
I would
have.
love to. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah. So are you. It was great to connect with you.
Thank you.
All right, so let's see who's next. Looks like Nicola. Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
Very good. Sorry I'm late.
You're fine. You're right on time. What kind of question do you have? What's on your mind?
I'm not sure. I guess my life is changing again.
That's always fun.
So I just want to know if our plans are going to go through and we're making the right decision.
Okay. All right. So we'll look at like, what do you need to know about this, like moving forward, what you're doing?
Yeah, we're just going to change. We're planning on changing states, going
Oh,
back home, basically.
nice. Okay. So, can you choose three numbers between 1 and 40?
Um, 13, 22, and 8.
And then do you have a favorite color?
Yellow.
Yellow. Like a dark yellow or a bright, light yellow?
Like goldy yellow.
Like this one?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So here are the colors you chose. And so we're going to look at the big change of going home with this one. I'm going to change mine. Speaking of change, let me just bump up the light a little bit. Hopefully that's a little brighter. Okay. And then did you get a chance to write down the preferential shapes? Did you catch that part or no?
I didn't. I'm sorry.
So yeah, it's no need to apologize. So there's, oh, look at that. Have you moved away and gone back a couple times?
Yeah. I
You
just
got the
can't take the
zigzag path. I love it.
I can't take the New England out of me.
Yeah. Oh, is that where you're going back to?
Yes.
All right. So there's 5 shapes. And so I'm just gonna say, so if you have a pen and paper, but you don't have to. These are the 5 shapes. So you
Okay.
kind of want to look at like which one you like the best, which is your favorite, and then your second favorite, third, and your least favorite, you know what I mean? Like put them in order.
Okay.
Um, do you have a pen or no?
I do.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna set this to the side so that you can hopefully still see it, but all right, there we go. Because then we'll talk about those shapes as they show, because I already see the spiral coming out.
That
Do
would
they?
be my favorite.
Yeah. What I'm really interested in is the shape that you have in number 3 and 4. So just for everybody's information. Oh, it's right in front of me. Um, so just for everybody's information, the first what you put in number one is like how you know yourself best. And so spiral, when we put the spiral, I think probably a lot of us, because we're all kind of coming together around art, we're going to be spirals in one of those, first and second. Second is like your strengths. But what's really interesting to me is the third and fourth spots. So the third position represents like the process that you're currently in. So whatever you're, working with, working through or experiencing right now is going to show up in the third position. And then the fourth is what was the motivation that started that process. So phone went up for a second. Let's move that. Can you still hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. My phone kind of did a weird thing. All right. So did you get your shapes down?
I do.
All right. So let's see.
Should I show them to you or
Can
I'm
you tell
not?
me what's in your third position?
The third position is the plus sign.
Okay, so that's integrating. So, and it often is about relationships. So working through connecting and reconnecting, that makes sense with the move back home or with
Oh, yeah.
family, that kind of stuff. And then, but the number four, what's in that one?
It was the circle.
Circle. So a sense of self-wholeness. So wanting to reintegrate, be connected with others and be part of community and that kind of thing could be part of like identity work.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what those may be coming up. And I'm looking, there's just this tiny little, I have to hold it up. I have to put some paint down first. There's this tiny little, like, I think it's an owl right down here. So it's like this little horned owl just kind of hanging out in the corner. So this part of, and I think it's sleeping. This part of the painting tends to represent like external experiences. So the left I usually read as like internal, this side would be external. So there's some like little treasure or like wisdom treasure. And if you're a spiral in your first, then you probably really value like learning and growing and things like that. So there's definitely
Mhm.
some wonderful, it's actually a very cute little owl. So it feels also connected to the inner child. So some wonderful kind of healing that comes from that. And it's for some reason wanting to kind of, I don't know what this is. Oh, I think it's like a little tree branch growing off its head. Okay. Cute little, there.
Oh, it's so cute.
It is cute. It's like, it's got this really gentle, childlike energy. And I am getting a visual of a child sitting and like reading an encyclopedia. Did you do that? Is that you or is that just like a
I'm not sure if it's me, but it's probably my grandson who is, or that would be my small little
oh,
genius
that's awesome. Yeah, little
who
professor.
is back where I'm going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at this tree just growing out of the wisdom of that. And I'm gonna get that yellow. We're gonna add in some of this yellow, which happens to be what, number 36. I like to just say the numbers just in case they mean anything, but um, I feel like there's a little heart right on the top of the head. Boop, boop. All right. And then over here, looks like I sure if it's like human or might be. Some fabulous eyelashes.
Mm.
Oh yeah, there's like a little, It reminds me of one of I don't know that I've seen it reminds me of some movie character um that was like about emotions or something like that. Or it would be like a little hmm, hmm. Yeah, there's definitely lots of do you have more than one grandchild that you're
I do. I have two boys.
there's so much like fun kid energy in this. Woo! Like it's super playful. Look at this little character.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cute.
And there's like this feels like flame, like fuel, like and I want to say like fuel the creativity, fuel the connections, and it's almost like I don't know what kind of being this is, like a little dragony, I don't know. It's fun though, I love it.
Whimsical, for sure.
Yeah. Um, right up here, there's like this gap, and I'm just wanting to kind of put a bridge here. Right. And then giving you these one spiral here. Why it switched to this like neon yellow. So yellow, I like yellow as a color for like the solar plexus, like our personal power.
Hmm.
And I feel like this is a very empowering movement for you personally, but also like, it's like definitely beneficial for others too, feels like. There's little growth on this little, yeah. And then this looks like a little boat. Do you have a boat?
We do. Little
Do you
one.
really?
A little fishing boat, and it's
Oh
up
my God,
there.
I was kind of joking, but cool. Here's the little boat. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a little boat over there and a bridge, and then like this water coming down from here. So I like to think of like the outside of the painting. So when I do like the larger paintings, there's usually a white space around, and I interpret that as like the non-physical realm. I feel like there's just this downpouring of energy coming from the non-physical realm into this little boat for you, into these like children. That's
That
wonderful.
is
So
so
Natasha's
beautiful.
asking if you're moving closer to your grandkids. Yeah.
Yes, and actually that little bridge, there's a little path between the properties that we
Oh,
had put in. So yeah,
that's perfect. Yep. I think it just is coming through. Like there's so much excitement and really just happy energy. And these two little little ones are just as content as can be.
it's perfect.
Yeah. And so where is the square?
The square is in number 5.
Five. And so it's like, so the number five position is kind of like unfinished business, or like it's our least preferred because we don't really want to deal with it. So five tends to represent like um especially if you're a spiral. So it's like don't box me in, or what, kind of that kind of feeling. But also it's like stability and foundational stuff, and like I don't know, like paperwork, like taxes,
Yeah.
those kinds of things. So, but what's interesting is right in this forehead here is like this diamond shape.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's a really like a fun take on the square. So it's a much more tolerable shape for creative beings to like, oh yeah, I can create this structure. I can do the things that are needed to and still be creative and have fun. in this other shape, which also becomes kind of like a gem right there.
That is so beautiful.
Yeah, so it's very central. I feel like it's front and center, and I feel like there's look, there's a little heart right there.
I see it.
Yeah, we're just gonna, because I was like, oh, there's not too much going on internally, but because it's the focus is so external. But yeah, that's all you need is love. Like, that's what it feels like. And then there's a few little sparkles in here. Oh, those are little hearts too. Um, this there's a connection here to this one. Like
Mm.
there's definitely like, yeah, there, well, that's what I
He's
mean.
my most creative one. He was
Yeah.
born, he's he's a little Aries too, so
Oh, are you an Aries?
yeah.
Me too. I get it. I understand. Yeah, and that's that. Yeah, that's the little fiery beings too. But so one of the things that I want to say is like you doing you helps them be them, you know?
Mhm.
I think that's such a beautiful thing, and like everything flowing down into the center and making them central in your life, I think is it's just a beautiful thing. Um, Inside, I feel like there's this circle, which was, who am I? Who am I separate? Who am I now in this part of my life, kind of thing. And then just I am a being who loves, like that feels like the most direct answer. And then I love a boat as both a vehicle for movement. So I think it showing up is saying, yep, it's a movement, but I also feel like it's kind of this half circle. I feel like it completes the bridge. I think there's two components to this move that need to be acknowledged or whatever. So that's just kind of showing up saying that. But overall, there's just all this happiness and love and excitement for it. Big eyes, big
I
eyes.
know.
Let
That's
me
fabulous.
let me pull a card to go with that. Um, my dog gave um, a confirmation grunt. All right. Oh, rest and recuperation. That's that kind of moon shape I was kind of thinking about. So for right now, it's time to just seek comfort and rest in your sacred space, which also could be home. To feel at home where you are will lead you
Mhm.
back, Um, but like, right. So what you can do right now, this also is echoing this right here.
It is.
So just taking some time, and that's that deep blue that,
And the little dots on the tree, the little dots that
yes,
you put on the
yes,
tree is the same.
on the branches, yes. Oh, wow. So this is number 8. So I feel like it's both like infinity, abundance, those kinds of things. I also would venture a guess that would be close to your life path number, but I don't know. Um, but like, yeah, so right now, just rest. Like if you've done everything you can to prepare,
I have.
yep, then it's time
We're
to just,
just
yeah.
we're in cell mode, so
Yes. So now, oh God. So now it's just wait
yep.
and trust. And be comfortable where you are. Yeah, that's seek comfort. So
Okay.
yeah, I hope that was helpful.
Oh, you have no idea.
Oh, good. Well, it's
Thank
great
you
to
so
connect with you.
much. Yes, you too. I follow your work. I love it. I've been just drawn to it. So
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. Oh, well, we're off to a good start. That was really fun.
it was.
All right, Susan. Hello, Susan. Are you still here? Are you awake?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yay. What is it about 1 a.m. for you?
Yeah, just like the call starts at 1 a.m.
Mm. All right. So you're
It's
still
like it's like almost our weekly date. Yana sneaks into my bed and then we try to be on the call.
I love it. Thank you for showing up. Hi, Anna. Are you still awake too?
She's smiling. That's about the best she can do.
Good. So who wants the reading today? Do you want it?
Me. Actually, it was her. That's why we sent the email, but it shifted.
Mm,
So,
okay. So what's on your mind? What would you like to know about?
so, so what came up today was like I'm inviting change into my life in many areas. And so that's the topic. And the question is like, is there a decision to be made? Like sometimes, you need to make a decision for things to be able to move.
Sure.
And is there a decision? Which I guess the answer is yes. And what would that decision be?
Gotcha. Okay, let's explore that.
Well, you get me anyway, not through words, but you pick up on the energy better
Oh
than
yeah,
I can
I got what you're
explain.
saying.
So
What three numbers do you have today?
11, 23, and 13.
And a favorite color?
Yellow, like not too bright,
You like
like
the
not the neon one.
say that again?
Not too bright, like not neon yellow, like more like a sunflower.
Okay.
Or gold, the one you had before.
Left
That's
or
fine.
right?
Left.
Got it.
That's golden.
Yeah. I think it's actually, oh yeah, look at that golden sunset. I love the names of these things. All right, 11, 13, 23. And decisions. Ooh, that's a fun pattern. My ears just got really hot. Like,
My cat just fell off the bed, sleeping.
really?
The moment you said that.
That's so funny. Yeah, I feel like, oh, the plus sign just wants to. Yeah, my ears are like flushed. And I'm thinking that there's like you're receiving so much information. And I almost want to be like, we're telling you exactly what you need to do. Yeah, and play. You play.
I feel like I'm grinning ear to ear.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is what we were talking about before, this kind of like silly energy, but I also want to like put it in a little box now. Look at that. I like make a little mud thing. Do you have access to sand, like a sandy beach or something like that you could like dig around in? Oh, it's messy.
No, horse manure.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I'd recommend that.
That's the
Even
closest I can get to dig around in anything.
like I was just kind of picturing you like building a sandcastle or something, or
Oh,
like
okay.
maybe clay or like kinetic sand or something like that, or something.
I wouldn't mind getting closer to the beach, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is what I'm picking up on is like do this now, like be playful now. So if you want change, you generate it by changing.
Mhm.
But it's like, yeah. Oh, look at this. Okay. So,
I'm always blown away by like the individual color, especially the blue wouldn't be a color that I would choose consciously.
oh, okay,
But
yeah.
once you've done your magic to it, um I'm always like totally blown away by what it looks like.
Yeah. It's that's why I like having like picking the numbers instead of colors because it just ends up being exactly what we need. So I feel like this has come up before.
Mm-hmm.
Here. I can see this and I'm holding off saying anything until you see it because it's kind of cracking me up. There's like this little caterpillar guy. He's got it. He's got a little gem and he's like, yay, let's go. And it's interesting to me that it's not a butterfly, right? Like it's a caterpillar. It's pre-metamorphosis, it's pre-change. It's like when I first saw that, I'm just getting the excess up here. When I first saw this little gem up here, I was like, oh, okay. This is like the prize that we're looking for. But it's like, no, you got it now. You got it now. You don't have to wait.
Yeah, that's something that's I always feel like I have to achieve something, or I have to become, or I have to improve, or I have to get better so that then I can be whatever.
Right.
And I'm aware of the pitfall of thinking that way or feeling that way. Like as if I needed to be a certain way to be deserving.
Right. Yeah, no, you can have it now.
I want to say, even as a little fat caterpillar.
Isn't it just I love it. Oh, he is a little chonker, isn't he? I like him. And his face just cracks me up, the little smile. And that's this energy of just having fun and being silly. And that the stone that he's holding, it's not a diamond, it's like I almost said it's a tooth. I don't know.
It's a word too.
That it's a tooth. Like he's just happy with whatever. Like that's I was before I actually spoke, I was like, oh, it's like alexandrite or some sort of really cool thing. And then the actual word that wanted to come out was like, he wouldn't care. This little caterpillar is like, whatever, I got a cool thing. You know what I mean? He's just really jovial. Reminds me of the caterpillar of A Bug's Life. Yeah, he was goofy. Have you seen that movie, Susan?
Nope.
Oh, that might be a fun watch. So if you're looking for things to do, to shift that and create the energy, that might be a fun thing to do is to watch A Bug's Life. He's a funny character in there. And I love that there's almost like oh, there's a little block right there. Let's see what under that. There we go. There's almost like this sunset or this light coming through behind him. And this yellow golden. It's gonna go there. Oh, there's just gems everywhere. Is what this is. It's just rain. It's like a waterfall of triangles. So it's like there's no shortage of ideas. Where is your triangle in your chart? Do you know? Did you?
I think it was 4.
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5. 4.
Oh,
I just make it up in my mind. I
sure.
usually don't have pen and paper.
Yeah. So like motivation, but I feel like, yeah, the idea process is really what's happening here. Look at that blue coming through. For some reason, that just really struck me. We got one thing to do here. What is that? It's almost Like a phoenix rising here. Ooh.
That
I feel like
is,
going this way. Go ahead, what?
the phoenix is like very special to me.
Yeah, it feels like the treasure is this change, this renewal, this rebirth. He's like, I have that too. Look at me. Yeah, triangle. So just getting clear about what you want, getting clear, but that's what the triangle is. The process is getting clear about what like change is inevitable, right? Like it's always, change is going to come, but what's it going to, it could change into something so similar that you don't even realize that things changed. So just getting clear about it. And I actually just heard like write it down. So writing down what you want. It's raining gems. Hallelujah, it's raining gems. There we go. Oh, goodness, great. And I almost feel like it's this, the phoenix is rising and bringing you an even bigger gem. So just like, this is like the mother of all gems coming your way. It's like the mother of all great ideas or whatever. But while you're still in the caterpillar state, enjoy the ones that you have. And I think the reason I said tooth is because, those dreams that people have that their teeth are falling out. Have you ever heard of that or had that?
Nope.
Oh yeah, it's actually kind of a common dream that people have when they're in the middle of like change. And if you think about our teeth, like as we go, into adolescence and leave childhood, we lose teeth and get new ones, hopefully. And I feel like that's kind of like celebrating every little thing, even though it's kind of a weird, uncomfortable experience. So celebrating those things, that's part of the message in this is like, if you need to make a decision to be happy with every little thing. Don't actually do this, but it's almost like making sandcastles out of horse manure. Just be, you know what I mean? Though, like,
So we're going
that
full circle
optimistic.
now.
I mean, don't really do, but all right, let me pull a card for you. From afar, the phoenix looks like a butterfly too. It does, you're right. It's definitely very symmetrical like that. So much is right there, but it feels like your energy is moving, it's shifting externally. Which I think that was something that came up too, is like being more social, being more going, being outgoing. Just, my cheeks are very hot now, so the heat moved from my ears to my cheeks now. So it's like, be seen. So make a decision to be seen. Oh yeah, look at the colors with this. They're like looking at each other and the wings. All right, so fierce protector. You are a powerful creator. Trust your instinct to protect your ideas during gestation, but hold on loosely, allowing the birth to occur without resistance. So it feels like you're right at this place of, sometimes we get used to asking for change. And so, like, I think you're right on when you're saying, like, I just need to make the decision. Like, decide. Like, okay, I'm on my, like, it's changed now. It's done, Be happy like that. I hope that was helpul. I love that there's so many
Absolutely,
colors, though.
absolutely. And it's still sinking in. So
Oh yeah.
I usually like take a picture or put it on my phone, and then I just kind of connect
Yeah,
a
process.
lot.
It's
Thank
gotta
you so much.
gotta settle. I get it. Great connection.
Linda,
again.
I'm so very sorry if I'm speaking out of turn, but for the second reading, you said Nicola, which is my name, and I was rushing to push my unmute button and somebody else started talking. So unfortunately, I missed it. I'm sorry if I'm speaking out of turn, but I just
No, that's
wanted
okay.
to voice it.
Who did I do a reading for? Is this yours?
No, that's me. I thought I was just the luckiest person on the face of the earth. I didn't hear a name called. I was like, my goodness, I showed up late and I had a reading like
Oh, that's why I
instantly.
said I'm sorry. I'm like, ah.
Oh,
That's
Nicola,
cool.
I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
you're Joellen. Oh,
I'm
okay.
Joellen.
I'm glad you spoke up, Nicola.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I did it because that's part of, I have like a throat chakra block thing right now. So I'm like, I'm gonna say it, and I was gonna say it after the other one, and I just don't want to be
I'm
rude and speak
so
over anyone. But I was like, no,
excited
I'm
that
gonna
you
do it.
had that opportunity.
Oh, I'm
That's
so sorry.
No, everything's perfect. Everything works out great. Okay, so Nicola, you're next.
Thank you.
All right. So what kind of things would you like to explore?
I'm currently processing a huge amount of grief. I like lost my dad in just the past few weeks.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, just kind of feeling a bit lost, and I'm in freeze. Kind of
Mhm.
just that really.
So you just want to kind of explore, see what comes through around it?
Yeah,
Okay. Did you get a chance to pick 3 numbers?
I did. Yeah, I picked 8, 40, and 27.
And then do you have a favorite?
A favorite number?
A favorite color or number if you've got
I think pink at the moment.
pink, like a dark pink, light pink, or medium?
Dark pink.
Magenta.
Yes.
Okay. So we've got these 3 in magenta. These look nice together. All right. Let's 8 first. The energy feels really condensed,
Mhm.
like holding it in, and yeah, I can feel the throat and actually sinuses very much. It's like just envelop it in pink.
Mhm.
It reminds me of when I started visual journaling, one of the drawings I did was me like in this little thing, and then it was just this really dense thing. And that's the image that I'm getting is kind of like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's what we got to do sometimes, especially when we just start a process of grief, is kind of just ball up. Oh, I almost see like bodies in there. Do you see like,
Mhm. Yeah,
that's like,
very cool.
mothering yourself and being in the womb for a little bit. All right. But the energy's like, okay, I'm ready to just
Mhm.
whoosh. Once the door opens, it'll just, flood through. I'm getting an image in my mind. I don't know if it's going to come through here, but I wanted to just acknowledge it as it coming through. It's like I think it's a hawk or some sort of like a crow or some sort of bird like that. Eagle, maybe. I don't know, some sort of
Mhm. Cool.
very big, beautiful bird that energy is coming through almost like like looking from a distance, that kind of feeling.
Mhm. Zooming out.
Yeah. This is feeling like a shape of a person there, arm out, there's a heart. It's got this interesting obscured feeling to it, like it's it almost feels like, okay, let's see. That definitely feels like a head right there. So we're gonna just start on that one. That top part with like the little white.
Mhm.
I'll take yellow. Okay. Something about this dark blue that just is very Oh no, there's this blue and yellow together feel familiar in a way that they shouldn't feel familiar, I guess. Um, like this looks like it's going to be a blanket over someone. So there's like this kind of blanket here. It's like a big striped blanket. Wrap me up, or I'll wrap you up, or something like that is kind of what's coming through. I'll just wrap you up. And those two colors, this and two, I are usually pretty intuitive.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And it's
it's
kind
all
of
very
like,
like fuzzy right now.
huh?
It's all very fuzzy right now, though.
Yeah.
I haven't
And
got much
that's what I was just
clarity.
feel like it'll all come back. Like that'll all, yeah. There's just like these little subtle, like there's little areas to bring light in, but it doesn't have to be, it's just this blanket, just comfort. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. So it's like this comforting blanket, but also it reminds me very much of like, oh, what do I want to call it? Like, like iconography, like spiritual artwork of
Mhm.
like saints and stuff like that. Like I grew up seeing a lot of like Catholic imagery, so I think of like saints and whatever. And that's kind of what it reminds me of is like this that drapery from that kind of thing. Oh, there's like a big heart here.
Oh yeah. Oh, wow.
Um, yeah, it's almost like it feels a little bit like armor. Yeah. Really like this part of the blanket where it's kind of coming out, looks like it's over a hand or something. Interesting. And what I'm feeling is like just so so from my perspective as like I'm recognizing that people are like watching and I feel like a sense of urgency to like develop the image and things like that. And so it's like this, but there's this continual reminder, like take your time, take your time. So that's like in my experience right at this moment. And I feel like that's coming through as a message to say, like, yeah, like your process is your process and take your time, you know. And then it goes deeper into this little heart, emphasizing that. And I think too, like receiving messages, like that's going to take time. Um, that feels like a big one. There's like, like little footprints or
Oh,
something. Mm. And that just, I'm feeling that in my heart center. So it's like acknowledging the footprints of like looking in the physical. Um, mm,
beautiful.
it's for kind of a dark painting, there's a lot of light.
Mhm.
I wanted to say that too. That pink really is enveloping. got like this. Oh, I just got this sensation of like, did you have to watch your dad go through something? I don't want to like trigger deep emotions, but I'm when I put this above the head of this figure, I was feeling like, and again, like my background's Christian Catholic, so my imagery is that, but like Mary as a mother watching her son go suffer. And so like when we watch someone we love suffer like that, I feel like that's what it's being processed, because you can't really
Yeah.
process while they're doing it. So then like it builds up to then be processed later. And so just I wanted to acknowledge that.
That's so perfect. Thank you.
Mhm. A lot. And I feel like that's wanting to be acknowledged too, like from the non-physical realm, to just say like that was there's an awareness of it. These feet over here. So they're gonna get, I'm like gonna put pink over them. So they're gonna kind of not fade away, but just be a little bit less, noticeable,
Mhm.
but they're there. And that wants to come through. Those stripes on that blanket, I
Yeah.
feel like there's something for you. I don't understand it myself, but I want to just point it out. There's something about that. Um, is there an animal that was, did your dad have an animal?
No, we're getting one, mate.
Huh?
We're getting one.
Oh, you're getting one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because it feels like there's a connection to an
Mhm.
animal. That's cool. Because these footsteps are starting to look like a little animal or something instead of footsteps. So there's like not a replacement, but like there's a connection.
Yeah.
That's great. And things to gradually see how it's like just really gradual lightening. I'm gonna go right in here. It's got that same tilted head as like a saint or something like that.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, just holding that heart.
Wow.
The heart, it's like it's on the outside of the body, like the heart becomes
Mhm.
the skin. And so I feel like these footsteps turning that purple being in like the crown or like the spiritual connection. So that's looking, so I usually read these like this is the internal and then this is external. And it's just kind of, they're so blended together right now, the internal and the external, like it's just, and I think that's because like your heart's basically on the outside of your body. So there's like this protective covering, which is like the freeze, like just right now, just being enveloped in whatever you need for comfort, and processing some of these things. It's almost like a patchwork or like a patchwork of, emotions and memory, like all those things, like letting yourself get wrapped up in it when you need to,
Mhm.
take your time to, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? I almost am like seeing someone eating soup on the couch when they're ill, like, so a very
Mhm.
similar process of just nurturing and recovery. And somebody said this word to me the other day, I guess,
Like recuperating.
yeah, like recuperating or it'll come to me. I mean,
Mhm.
you get it, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like that, like, yeah, convalescing or whatever, that kind of thing. But yeah,
Mhm.
so there's definitely like looking at the absence, like it feels like they're looking at the absence of what was here in the physical. Because this right side represents the physical. But it's overall just like, gosh, it's so warm and peaceful and heart-centered. It just feels even though grief doesn't feel good, it feels good. Like you're just enveloped in love.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Thank you.
All right, let me pull a card around it. Cozy up. Somebody said I love that. Stripes reminds me of sporting teams. Yeah. I agree. All right. And there's just warmth, isn't there? Like inside the blanket, it's cool blue and kind of dark and difficult and all those things. It almost feels like armor, but all around is so warm and soft.
Yeah, it's very comforting.
All right. Let's see. Whoa, holy cow. Hold on. There's so many. I feel like when you as you move through, like as time passes and you're recovering and you reconnect with your, and things aren't so fuzzy, there's gonna be just constant messages because it's just coming through. Okay. So to imagine no need to hurry. Yeah. No need to worry. Slow down and listen for the limitless voice within. Take your time honoring the cycles of creation. Take your time imagining yourself into being. And I would say, being in this new existence, things have changed. You are changed. So allow yourself that time. And then this one too wanted to come through, and this is, leaning into your community. Celebrate community. When the world outside seems cold, come together to warm your hearts by dancing in the frozen sparkles. So leaning in on your community is the other message.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Linda.
You're very welcome. It's nice to connect with you. And thank you for being patient.
You too.
Thank you for speaking up.
Yeah, sorry. I was, proud of myself for doing that. Thank you for listening.
Pleasure. All right. Okay. We've got time for another one. Let's see. Emily. Are you still here with us, Emily?
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. So what's on your mind?
I am between jobs right now and I'm in a pretty good place, but there's just so many possibilities for my future. I'm just kind of searching for a sense of direction.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the woes of unlimited potential. I get it. All right. So what three numbers?
37, 21, and 7.
And do you have a favorite color?
Sky blue.
All right. There we go. Do. 37. All right. So you've got lots of opportunities. So did you say you have lots of opportunities or?
Lots of possibilities. I just don't know which direction to go in from here.
So clarity and direction, is that what we're hoping for?
That would be great.
Okay. I was like tuning in and it was like spinning wheels, but then it was just somebody on a bicycle going in a circle. Like, okay. That's fun. A lot of spiraling energy. I view is one of the things you're thinking about, like learning something.
Potentially, yes.
It's really fun. Do you do stuff with plants?
I have one plant.
How's it doing?
It's alive. It actually has a blossom on it right now, which is weird because it's a
Oh,
Thanksgiving cactus, so it's very random to be blooming right now.
that is. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I was like, oh, there's something about plants or nature or I don't know. There's just all this green, but all right. Where's your square? Did you get to do the
I
shape?
did. My square is the very last one. So I guess it's what I'm avoiding.
Yeah, it's kind of like sometimes it can be unfinished business or it's our least preferred because we don't really want to deal with it. So stability, foundational stuff, all the, you know, I'm assuming that your spiral is somewhere in the beginning.
Yes, the spiral is number 1.
Yeah. It's funny because I used to think like, well, who doesn't put spiral number 1? But people don't. So yeah, it's pretty typical. Like if you have a lot of creative energy and lots of ideas, I feel like, are you like an idea factory?
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
doing a lot of volunteer work while I'm not working, and I am the generator of ideas for sure.
That's great. So triangles, where's the triangle? Is that in the third?
It's my second.
Second. Okay, so second is like your gifts and talents and strengths. So yeah, that makes sense. You're a visionary. That you, typically, yeah, typically like a spiral triangle and those first two are people who are visionaries. They have lots of ideas. They can see things that other people. Do you have the plus sign somewhere?
Yeah, that's number 3.
So that's what you're currently doing, is integrating. And so then you're figuring out who you are to integrate. Okay. So this is really interesting because it's very, I actually am seeing like a zebra. Zebra with a green eye. Let's see if I can draw a zebra from memory. Wish me luck. It's going to be a funky looking zebra, but this is what I feel like the message of that is like, you may not know how to do something, but give it a shot anyway. You know, um, you don't you don't know what you don't know.
It's true. Wow, that really is a zebra.
It is, isn't it? Huh.
In outer space or something.
Yeah, with a bright green eye, which is really interesting. I don't know if zebras have like ears like that. I feel like it's got a cool, like, let's like a unicorn zebra. Let's do that. I kind of want to bring this green in there. I feel some resistance to like unicorn in your energy, like, that's too, it's not serious enough. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's a nice area to kind of stretch yourself.
I'm here for the unicorn.
Oh, yeah. Good, good. Yeah, let the inner child win. Look at this cool like pattern. This is not just any zebra, like it's gonna have some really cool. It's got some fabulous eye makeup. Yeah. So creative and organized, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yes.
That's why you're a unicorn. Because that doesn't exist often. Hmm. You're a zebra unicorn with like purple stripes and all kinds of cool things. Yep. And this little gem right here, almost like, okay, so, but that square, the fear is that you're gonna get on, like, you're gonna like, someone's gonna put a post through you, and you get stuck on a carnival ride or something. And just go round and around and around and around. So is that, would you say that's a true fear possible?
A little bit, yeah.
Don't box me in. Don't I don't want to get, I want to choose right. I want to
Right.
choose the correct path so that I can um you know, and it's like, oh, you can get off, and like you said, you're, it's like in outer space or something here. I just want to put this purple around here. There's always an alternative is what's kind of coming through. Your stripes go beyond you, which you ever seen a cat that like a striped cat when it's shaved down and it's still got stripes on its skin? I don't know why
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm saying this, but there's something like that. Like it goes so much deeper. It's so much farther than just the surface or whatever. So there's this wonderful blue. So what's interesting is that color of yours, that sky blue, is just that little triangle. Oops. And so what you want, like your color, it's giving me a hard time now. There we go. We're going to just emphasize that. So speak up for what you want. and declare your worth and all that good stuff. Get messy. See, this is when it's like, oh, all right. I think it's still, I'm like deliberately kind of, it feels like I'm making mistakes, but I'm not. It's like, oh no, I don't put that there, that kind of thing. So I feel like, yeah, let yourself try things. I think what you're doing, you said you're volunteering and stuff.
Yeah.
I think you're right on. What's the best thing you've done so far to volunteer? What's been the
Um,
most enjoyable?
I volunteer at this meditation center, and I spend a lot of time like setting up their website and making sure their newsletters go out and planning the classes months and months in advance. That kind of
Oh,
stuff.
wow. You like that? That's a
I
nice combination of creativity and organization, isn't it?
Yeah, it's become a huge part of my life.
That's awesome. Layers, I just
It almost
layer.
looks like she's wearing war paint.
Yeah. There's like layers and layers of, there we go. Something said like, oh, you just gotta decide to stand out at a certain point. You may find yourself like having to just draw attention to yourself
Mhm.
when but it feels like it's gonna be super clear, like you'll know exactly what you want, and so it'll just be easy because you're like, oh yeah, I want that, you know. It does look like war paint. I love that.
I know it's like David Bowie space zebra unicorn.
Totally.
I love it.
That's awesome. Is there music? Is there a musical component to your life?
Yeah, I used to be an opera singer actually.
Oh, wow. Okay. Because as I was putting these on here, I was like, oh, it reminded me of like notes on a,
It looks like that on a staff, yeah.
yeah. Wow, opera. That's amazing. Do you still enjoy singing?
I do. I love music.
That's what it's like. It just is radiating. I love that. It almost feels like a decorating. Have you done any like cake decorating or there's something, some sort of like two-dimensional. Oh, um, I don't know what it is. There's something there though, but I feel like it's a really fun way to express yourself or something like that. I don't know, like necessarily like career wise, but sometimes those things lead to meeting the right people and, take a cooking class and you meet the CEO of a company you've always wanted to work for, that kind of thing.
Right.
I feel like there's that. Yeah. Like there's also this component of I feel like I could work on this forever and it would never be finished.
Mm.
There's that. And so yeah, I don't so tell me your question again, like just clarity on, do
Yeah,
you
I'm
feel
just
like
looking
there's
for
too
a sense
much? Mhm.
just looking for a sense of direction. I don't know if I want to stay in the city I'm in, or I could move and explore other areas, but it feels like anything is possible right now.
I was gonna say, like, it really does. It feels like there's just, yeah. I also get this kind of like carnival ride merry-go-round vibe from this too. Like you're there are cycles. And I also feel like the unicorn zebra horse is looking over its shoulder, like kind of looking back also. Kind of looking, but looking within. I think that's good. I think you're probably doing some self-reflection, yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Space horse. I think there might be a period of waiting because I'm like, okay, any minute now. But yeah, it's just gonna like, you might find yourself coming full circle with a few things if you haven't already. Um, as we kind of look some of these things through. And this is what I was saying. So I feel like there's like layers and going over things and coming back to them and like going back and forth with some of this.
Yeah.
And back to this middle group. So do you have a central vision? Like, do you have a personal mission statement? Have you ever done that?
No, I don't think I have.
That's
Other than
what's
like leave every bit place a little better than how I found it.
oh, that's nice. Yeah. But like, what about you want? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, good for them, but so that's what I'm kind of what's coming through with this one is like some clarity. Like you can, if you want clarity on you know, your path and what's going to be the most fulfilling, you just got to define it. And you know, you're really good at coming up with ideas for other people. So it's, you know, defining that for yourself. And that's what this expanding triangle's about. Yeah, there we go. There was something about it, was like, gosh, it just doesn't, it wasn't feeling complete. And that's what it is to really do that work of defining what you want your life to look like.
Yeah.
Like just like a mission statement, just like you would for a business plan kind of thing, but for your own life. And what's the unicorn life look like? That's the question.
Yeah.
I really like that triangle for you. So if you were going to have you ever considered creating a business? Were you like an independent artist or?
No, I've bounced around from like one male-dominated industry to another. So while like doing fun things on the side, like last year I learned sign language. Like opera was way too much time on top of work. Like it was okay for my 20s, but it doesn't pay very well and it's very exhausting. So I have all these other little creative outlets. So it's just kind of which one do I pursue?
Well, and there is something about when you focus, I think that's where the it kept coming back to that triangle, and it was like, okay, the layers and layers and layers, but when you come back to the one and just focus on one thing
Yeah.
for a little while, and then that can grow, and then the other things, which I think is the challenge for a creative being, because it feels like you're going to stagnate, but then that can just become like the creative problem to solve, right? Is how to not stagnate by doing the same thing. But that's the way to really make something happen, is to be consistent in one area and really focused in. Which you know that.
That makes sense.
But so looking at this and the green, and I'm pulling a card around it too, but it's like full of heart and spirit. So the purple and the green just feels like full of heart and spirit, while also being like really connected to the universe. You know, it's got this kind of galactic look. So here's a one. Let me cut that again because it kind of came out pretty sloppy. All right. Oh, yeah, here's your non-answer, but I just want to remind you, like, notice all the beautiful ways that life moves with you and for you. You are absolutely supported and loved. So that's what this one's saying. And it feels that way. It feels very strong, feels very stable and like radiant and like it's got mass, it's got birth or something, you know. So that feels like the stability of, even though it's like the square is represents stability and not knowing where you're going to be or what you're doing doesn't necessarily like describe stability, but there is stability in the overall like energy around you. Like there's stability in you when you know what you want, and there's stability in when you're enjoying things and you're like, okay, I want to do this more or that more, like the thing you're doing volunteering. Just having that experience and saying like, oh, I really enjoy this and I would like to do this more could present opportunities to do that as a paid, you know, a paid job or something.
Sure.
So you hold the key. Often we unlock one question only to find several more inside. Never cease asking. You hold the key to every door and every answer is within you. So, you know, you've got that natural curiosity. That triangle, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's like a portal or like a doorway. So that's where you know, that's where you're heading, is into that. And you know, it's never done. Our paths are never done. So just as a reminder of that, like you're right on track and you're doing everything right and you're supported. So have fun with it. You have brave unicorn.
Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Good connect with you. It was nice talking with you.
Nice talking with you too.
All right, let's see. So it's 7:30. So what I can do for everybody who's got their hands up, I'd love to pull a card for you. If that works out. I also am open to if anybody has questions about the process or readings in general or anything like that. I'm all painted out for the night, but I'm happy to pull a card. Let's see. So I'm just gonna go down the hand raises and you can unmute and tell me your question and I'll pull a card for you. Sound good? Let me do this. Well, no, you can see it. Okay, so looks like Chris. Hi, Chris. How are you? Can you unmute? Can you figure it out? Otherwise, I could.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. How are you today?
I'm okay. Thanks for asking.
Good.
I was thinking I would like to decrease self-doubt and increase confidence by trusting my ability to assess. That's not really a question, but that's what I got for the day.
That's nice. So decrease self-doubt and trust
Increase.
your ability for like discernment, like to assess things.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, let's pull a card for that. So I kind of have it like when you make a statement, it's like, what do you need to know about that, right? So what you need to know about that is look at that Phoenix energy. Woo! Embody your awakening. So dance with it. Dance with the fire in your soul. Let yourself feel all the things around it. So let yourself feel the self-doubt. Sometimes I think we get stalled in our growth because we want to not feel something. So we're like, oh, I want to not feel this thing, so I'm gonna redirect all my attention, which isn't a bad thing. You know, I definitely think like anytime we can redirect ourselves into a positive way of thinking, that's great. But also you could bypass it and then like you get stuck in it because you're not letting yourself just feel it until it burns itself up a little bit. So letting yourself feel those things and go, oh, like I'm feeling this self-doubt again. Like, you know, I don't want to be seen, or I don't want to, and like, you know, it works to embody this too. Has you ever done like EFT or tapping?
But more interesting to me is that I really love to dance.
Haha, that's perfect. I don't know why I didn't just think of that. Like, yeah, just dance that shit out. That's perfect. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Deborah. Hey, Deborah.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How's it going?
Not too bad.
All right. You have a question today?
I'm still stuck on my career focus. I just
Mhm.
feel like I should focus on one thing, but then again, I'm not sure if I should. So I'm
Oh,
stuck. I'm just stuck.
the multifaceted artist, creative healer person. I get it. That's
Yeah.
I
It's like I
yes.
want to do it all, but should I be focusing rather than
Yes.
spreading thin?
And I think yes, right? Like, so the answer to that is yes, focus, but how do you choose what to focus on?
Exactly.
And I think focusing on so face your fears. So what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of like you're
Failure?
gonna pick wrong?
Failure, yeah.
So this is saying face your fears with compassion and self-acceptance. What's so beautiful, I love this elephant as like, kind of like Ganesh, like breaker of obstacles, like just run right through those obstacles. But in order to do that, you got to stand your ground and face your fears and face them, not just face your fears, but face them with compassion and self-acceptance. So not running from yourself and like go like, okay, I am afraid that if I focus on my art or if I focus on massage or whatever, if I just give my attention to that thing, it's not going to work. And I could have been focusing on this other thing and spending time because it takes time to grow something,
Yeah.
right? Well,
Yeah.
I will say, like from personal experience, focusing on what you love. I know it sounds so cliche.
I love that. I love it all.
Well, do what you love from moment to moment. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
as an umbrella
The
for all
funny
of
part about this card is I was just commissioned today to paint an elephant. And then you pull an elephant.
Yeah. Well, so where are you getting the idea that you have to focus on one thing? We really can't focus on more than one thing at one time. Right.
I'm starting to feel overwhelmed.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm starting to get a lot of commissions and it's like, well, I have to go to work. So when do I find time to get these commissions done? And so I'm spending all of my spare times doing the commissions. And now I feel like I'm neglecting like home
Uh-huh. Yeah.
life.
So you're in that transition of, yeah, because something's got to give, right?
Right.
Hmm. So with the commissions, can you schedule it and say, I'm going to work on,
I
every
could.
Tuesday and that's it?
Right now, my commissions are for a fundraiser, so
So you
we're
have a deadline.
trying to get them done all in the month of February so that
Yeah.
I can give the person the fundraised money at 1st of March.
Sure.
So it's like it's a really tight schedule.
So
So
you're
get the commission, I'm on it.
yeah, you're giving yourself away is what's part of that. That doesn't have to do with not choosing one thing and not focusing on it. It just has to do with not compensating yourself enough to to be sustainable. So that's part of it too. So really looking at the fear and so that's just self-examination,
Yeah.
Well,
even just like watching you tonight, I'm painting at the same time.
yeah, multitasker. I get
Multitasking
it.
the whole time.
No, I live that life. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah. And I think it's just a constant process. And part of the process is also, yeah, okay, I'm going to stand my ground. This also could be related to having boundaries,
Yeah.
So yeah, just redefining and you'll figure it out.
Eventually.
You got it. I
Thank
think you already know. I think a lot of it is just allowing yourself to figure that to go like, I like this best, and I'm not going to do the other things. Is there anything you don't want to do?
No.
Oh, okay. Is
Mm-mm.
there anything you can hire out?
Mm-mm. No.
Can you get someone to clean your house?
I think I have too many animals for that, so.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Nobody wants to be around parrots and dogs and that kind
Yeah.
of mess, so that's a daily chore that only I can seem to handle, because my husband can't either.
See, that's the other thing too, is that I get that too, is like I'm the only one who can do this, that, and the other thing. And that happens with artists too, because nobody else can paint that commission for you, right?
Right.
But somebody can send your email, and I'm saying this to hear it because I don't do this either. I get overwhelmed and I do everything. So I'm not someone to give you good advice on that. But what's coming through is like, there are things that you can delegate. There are things, there are ways that you can get help and not be overwhelmed, and that there's a fear underlying that sense of overwhelmment. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good talking with you. All right. So I'm going to say D'Abruzzo. I don't know if that's an abbreviation. Is it DA?
Yeah, my name is Denise and I'm in
Hi, Denise.
Vermont. And and I am so grateful that you're here. I have a friend I have been painting intuitively for a long time as a way of managing my mental health, stress management, and self-awareness. And I've been doing it for about 20 years. And so she knew this, and so she saw one of your clips and she sent it to me. So I went online and I saw that you did these free Zooms, and bless your heart for doing this. I am just so grateful to be here, and I am so grateful to meet you, and I am so beyond the moon that there's people like you that are doing stuff like this, because this is what I'm trying to do in my community, is to teach people how to do it for themselves and how to read it themselves so it empowers them. And I use watercolor. So it's a little different, but I'm just so grateful to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy to meet you.
And I will be here more often because I can learn a lot from you. And I am just, like I said, I'm very grateful.
Awesome. You should come to Art Support Group too. Did you see that there's that?
Yes, I did. Cool. And I tried to get on the schedule for tonight last night, but the calendar was gone.
I know, I screwed it up.
So I thought, oh, I'm gonna have to wait until next week. Darn. And so then I checked again today and I was like,
I'm glad you did. Oh, cool. Awesome.
Anyway, so yes, I plan on doing that too.
I'm happy.
So anyways,
well, it's great to meet you. Do you have a question?
Well, I'm pretty open to anything because I'm like in huge transformation right now, like life-changing transformation, like going into the next phase of my life. Like I'm entering the last chapter of my life. So, I break up my human experience into 3 sections. I'm entering the 3rd section. So, yeah, there's a lot of feelings, there's a lot of stuff, but I'm just open to whatever comes through, because whatever comes through is what I'm gonna need, what I need to hear. So
let's see what comes through for Denise. And did you say you're in Vermont?
Yes.
I'm seeing turtles. I don't know why. That's what popped into my head, was turtles around you. Like, take your time, or the tortoise kind of, they're so.
But they're also, they represent heaven and earth too, the shelf.
Yeah. So they are in that, simply steep.
Yeah.
Allow your dreams to simmer slow and low in the catalytic cauldron of life. Savor the aroma and let the flavor grow. Yeah, I think you're just right on track. You just let yourself be all in yourself,
And that's pretty much the way it is, we get in these tough spots, and change is never a fun time.
Sure.
But the question for me is always, what's the lesson? Where's the growth? And
Yeah, I wanted to point out here, like the flames underneath the cauldron are like little people. So I feel like you have like ancestral, like there's support from non-physical. And then there's like this little mushroom. So there's like this rejuvenation, there's like these cycles of life that, you're talking about. And then so much spiral. And I'm wondering if your spiral was part of like your one or two, your creativity. It feels like it's acknowledging, with the moon phases, the cycles of life, and then also your spiral. Spiral is kind of a cool, and I wonder, is that did you write down the shapes?
Yep.
Is your spiral in 3 by any chance or no?
No, it's in 2.
Is it in 2? Okay, so it's your strength, but I was just wondering if you're in this process of like coming back around from a new view, like coming full circle, but from a new view. That's kind of what I was seeing. And I think that's what the turtle is like. Turtles say to me, like, take your time and those kinds of fun things, but also they see a lot. A lot of passes by them, Well,
I
and then
was
there's a little. Mhm.
I was wondering too before we end if you could speak again about what each number means
Sure.
and what each symbol means,
Yeah.
so that I can look later on to see where mine was. And
Yeah. So let me give you the quick rundown. So the places, the 1 through 5, and then I've got looks like 2 more people to pull cards for, just so hang in there if you want one. So 1 through 5, 1 is like how you know yourself best. How you identify, like, so if you're a square, you know yourself as like foundational and organized, those kind of things. 2 is strengths and talents and gifts, your innate gifts. 3 is the process that you're involved in right now. So that's what's active in your experience. 4 is your motivation. So it's whatever motivated you to like start this process that you're in the 3rd position. And then 5 is like sometimes it's unfinished business, or it's just your least favorite, like it's something you're kind of maybe avoiding or you don't want to look at, or it's just kind of doesn't register. So then this shapes, the circle represents wholeness, unity. It often represents the self. So depending on where it shows up, it can be like you're on a quest or a hero's journey. So like if it was in the 3rd position. The square is stability and foundation. Think of it like a tabletop, or the number 4. It's very, strong. It's about balance and stuff. The spiral is growth and creativity. The plus sign or the equidistant cross, that's about integration. Think about an intersection of between. So this energy is like the parallel thinker who can like make connections to a lot of things. It also can represent relationships. And then it's also like, if it's in a strength, it'd be like the strength of making connections between, say, science and spirituality, or a good like mediator type energy. Triangles represent goals and visions and dreams. So that's like the visionary, the ideas that we have, idea generator that I was talking about before. Is that helpful?
oh, thank you so much.
My
Yes,
pleasure.
it's very helpful. You said the spiral is just growth in cycles?
Yeah, growth and creativity.
Creativity, okay.
So all of these come from this book, from this author, Angela Arian.
Okay.
And you can just like, if you Google it, then all those descriptions, there's a lot of people that have like written that up in their blogs and things like that. It's an old book, so there's a lot of info on.
Sometimes they're the best.
Oh yeah, all my books are really old.
Mine too.
I graduated with my art therapy degree in 2010. So most of my books, I still do buy books and read journals and stuff, but those are all still so good to me. I don't know, because they were like my foundation, I guess. Well, it was really nice meeting you, Denise.
It's nice to meet you too.
I look forward to seeing you again.
Me too. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Hildenstein. Hey, how's it going?
That's me. I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good, good. My name's really Hillary, but
Hillary. I like Hildenstein. That's very cool.
my last name is Hottenstein, so it's Hilsenstein. So
Oh, wow.
I like
That's
smashed
nice.
them together.
I just thought it was like a cool nickname that you made up or something. That's great.
Yeah, I just smashed my names together.
You're like your own power couple. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, it's good to meet you.
Good to
How
meet
can I
you.
help you today? What's on your mind? What kind of questions do you have?
So I've had a lot of like dreams, strange dreams, and it's funny because it's almost like I dream and I don't like sleep, if that makes sense. Like I'm not even like what's the word? I'm not even like rejuvenated when I sleep, and I'm sleeping like tons, but it's just I'm not sleeping. Like my mind is just going crazy,
Are
crazy,
you
crazy.
lucid in the dream?
No, not really.
So
That's
do
the
you think
chakra.
maybe you're astral projecting or something?
I don't know. I don't know. Like it's really strange. It's almost like I can live an entire day in my sleep. And
Okay.
that's kind of like, and I'm dreaming about little things like about my sorry if you can hear my cat. Like she wants to get out now. She wanted to get in this entire time and now she wants to get
Yes.
out.
Yeah.
So I'm dreaming about my cat that passed away. I'm dreaming about just strange things, like some things that don't even like relate to me whatsoever.
Hmm.
So it's just kind of curious that these dreams have just been
Yeah.
too much. And I mean, yeah, life has been it's been interesting for the last like year and a half. And you know, I've had a couple of upsets and a couple of mishaps and a couple of, you know, like health-wise problems. And I've made it this far and I'm doing good, but I don't know, it just seems like I'm at like a weird crossroads. And
Okay.
I've just had a few things come up, and even within the last like week that have happened. And I'm like, wow, like that you were meant to be a part of what I'm not like
I get
it's
it.
just weird. Like
Yeah.
it's just so strange. Like even I go to choir practice, and legit this woman out of nowhere like literally was like, hey, are you going to choir practice? I'm like, what? It's always the same like 5 or 6 people. Like like it made no sense. And she's just like, can I follow you? And I'm like, yeah. But the whole point was like the fact that we even met was weird. Like I went out of my way to not go to my regular spot, to not go to
Yeah.
where I usually go, and change my habits. And I'm like, I guess I was meant to meet this person. Like it's just kind of weird. I've had a few of those weird encounters.
Are you a cardinal sign? Do you know your zodiac?
I'm Sagittarius.
Is that a cardinal? I don't know much about astrology, but so
I
what
don't either.
this is what I do know. Apparently there was some like ending of a really shitty cycle for cardinal signs when Pluto did something. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean?
Uh-oh.
But I'm telling you,
I'm gonna
my
look it up.
life in the last like, did you say like a week or two? Is
I would
like
say
something
I would say within the last like year or so, things have just been like
because like in the last week or two, some stuff that I've been dealing with for like a decade has shifted like abruptly. And I don't know and so I'm like, I don't know if that's a collective thing or what, but
do you mean like
something's
in a
definitely
clarity sense? Like all of a sudden you just feel like because that's how I feel like things
I
are
was saying
starting to come
Sag
together.
is mutable. You're a mutable sign. But that sounds cool. Thank you.
I don't know what that means. I'm gonna look that up.
But
Mutable.
yeah, I wonder if there's something like in the cosmos that like is I mean there's just I think there's a bunch going on. There's solar flares and all kinds of crazy stuff like in the big picture. You know what I mean? Like in the cosmic sense, there's a lot going on that's affecting all of us because I'm hearing some stuff, you know. And then affecting you and your personal life. But I think like these coincidences and synchronicities are like amping up recently too. So that's very cool. Let me pull a card for you around it. So you want some like clarity, like what's going on? Is that what you're kind of asking, or
some kind of center of to it, like make it make sense.
make it make sense?
Like I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but it's
No,
just
I get
like
it.
I feel like I'm seeing all these like you said coincidences, and you're just like, come on, this has to be more.
All right, so this one, there's so much going on when this is like this was channeled collectively. So the way that this painting was created was I think there were about like 20 different people. They all picked colors. And then so this was like a reading. So I want to emphasize again, there's something collectively, I think maybe you connecting with people is like the center, the core of this. So it says, sing in the rain. Once again, change is here. While change brings hope, there's often fear. So let your soul cry out, let it move you. And I think, yeah, having being in a chorus or being a choir like that, if you sing, like moving that stuff is great. Let it move you. Then allow the chorus of creation to soothe you as you join in with the one song of the universe. So you're part of a larger thing. That's what, and I just want to point out this hilarious chicken on the side of the moon or whatever it is. Like things are like surreal, right? Like
Yeah.
there's just this surreal kind of thing. And then there's like this gobbledygook of things that you're like, oh, that's at people. I don't know what that is. It's just a bunch of stuff. So
Right.
there's a lot of stuff that the unknown can kind of generate fear, but I think that there's also, I think what you can do in that situation, like the message here is like to let yourself express it, like give a little bit of extra oomph when you can like let you know, let your voice like sing in this rainy period, like sing in the rain. Yeah,
That's
lean into
insane.
it.
That's insane.
I
I
know.
can't even. I can't even.
So yeah, and come to art support group or come back to this one too, and I maybe could do a painted reading for you too. So
That's
you
just
dive into that. And
wow.
I don't know if if you dream journal too, but I feel like that could be a way, you
One
know.
of my friends does, and she's like, "You should write it down." And I'm like, "Yes, yeah, you're gonna forget about it, like given the time frame." But I'm like, my dreams are so flippin' vivid. It's like scary
Yeah.
sometimes.
Just like send yourself a voicemail, like a voice text or something when you first wake up. Like just grab something really
Yeah,
easy where you could just record yourself for a minute and just be like, okay, I was there and then I was there and this happened and such.
right. Good
And
idea.
just,
Good idea.
yeah, that would be really interesting to look at or draw a picture of it, but I don't know if you like, you know.
I'm actually pretty creative. My
Yeah.
number two was the sign. Like my
Nice.
number two. So
Yeah, see your strengths are creativity and growth and
yeah.
expansion. I mean, grab one of those calendars and do a little doodle. So another book that I really love, if anybody wants to, um, let's go shopping,
Yeah, let's do it.
is called Art is a Way of Knowing by Pat Allen. So she's an art therapist. Um, and I'm in the Midwest, and she had an open studio in like Skokie, Illinois, or something like that. Anyway, that book is great, and that's about like using art as a way to connect to that, get those answers. And that's what I do with my calendars every day. I'm like, what's up with my life? And I do a painting, and it's a reading every day. So it's really easy. You could do a scribble drawing to access your subconscious. So you could like wake up from your dream, scribble on a piece of paper, and then just outline whatever it looks like to you. And then like Google the symbolism of it. And
True.
like just all you really need to do is just tell your subconscious that like, hey, I'm gonna do this thing. So whatever you need me to know, let it show up in my artwork. And then you can get like clarity in that practice. Does that make sense?